What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Dunk Productions podcast. You guys know what it is. You guys know the vibes. Hope y'all been striving for greatness like we've been over here. Um, Make sure you guys go check out the sponsor of the podcast, Wisconsin Sports Heroics. I will have all their stuff linked below. Their Facebook, their Twitter, their Instagram, their website as well. Make sure you guys go check them out, read some of their articles. A lot of good ones lately. A lot of really good ones. A lot of the writers over there have been doing a great job. I've saw the editors and all the podcasters as well doing a great job. Shout out G5 Designs as well. But use code Wisco there, $1 off your purchase, and also you get free shipping. I mean, why not go with G5? We're gonna be having an announcement with G5 coming soon. I hope you guys are excited about that as I am. But tonight on this episode, we have the man, the myth, the legend, the co-founder of Wisconsin Heroics, Jake Sirianni. He's been on the podcast before. Huge shout out to him for joining us again tonight. Jake, how have you been doing, man?
Hey, Brett. Thanks for having me. Doing pretty well. How about yourself?
Oh man, I've been doing good. Like you, just been on the grind. You guys will obviously be seeing a huge announcement coming soon. We added another person to the team. If you guys have not followed us on Instagram, please do because we post a lot of updates on there. You guys usually figure stuff out on there three, 4, maybe even 5 days before a podcast episode goes out talking about it. So make sure you guys follow us over there. But tonight, since we got a guy from Wisconsin Heroics on, I wanted to talk with Jake Sirianni about how the brand's been going over there. Love what they've been doing over there. But Jake, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's been going on with Wisconsin Heroics and what is coming in the future?
Hey, absolutely. So right now we are working on doing updates to the website. So you will be able to find not just your podcast, but all of our Wisconsin Sports Heroics sponsored podcasts on there. We're getting you mentioned the G5 merchandise earlier. They will be appearing on the website as well, and you will be able to order directly from the site. Tons of fire stuff, including the new Fear the Beer Brewers shirt that we launched a few days ago. So that should be a big hit. And then, of course, just all the other awesome articles that our team are pumping out each day, keeping you up to date with the latest in Wisconsin.
Yeah, Jake, I can't say it enough on this show. I've told so many people, check out Wisconsin Heroics. You guys have been amazing throughout the whole process. I think, when we decided to talk through the announcement video about us partnering up with you guys, that was one of the funnest videos to plan that I've ever been able to plan. So I was really happy about that, and I love what you guys are doing over there. And love the new stuff coming soon too. Very excited about it. Obviously, really cool stuff for you guys. We're super happy to be a part of what you guys are doing over there, and we're happy that you guys are a part of our brand as well. We're so happy about it. But also, guys, getting on Jake's website point, make sure you guys go check that out. But Jake Sirianni, Wisconsin Sports Heroics, love what you guys are doing over there. But how about a team in Wisconsin, the Green Bay Packers? Obviously, free agency has been huge in the NFL this offseason. A lot of teams are making moves. Packers are kind of just bringing back the same players they had last year. What are your thoughts on the Packers' moves this offseason? And do you think that they could find themselves in the same position next year in the NFC Championship game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for the most part, the teams that have improved over this past offseason are teams that were pretty crappy, last year, where the difference shouldn't be, make or break it. One team to look out for is San Francisco, especially depending on what they do at quarterback. Their defense is much healthier now than they were last year. So they could, I wouldn't be surprised to see them one of the final 4 teams in the NFC. Tampa Bay, the team we lost to, they look like they're running it back as well. So if you ask me, I think we had the better team anyways. It was just, crappy fourth quarter, I guess. But if it's just us and them running it back, I would feel good about where we're at.
But here's the thing, Jake. I think that running it back is going to be a good thing. I think obviously we without question had a chance to win that game. When you turn Tom Brady over 3 times, I think if you're an NFL team and someone tells you that Tom Brady's going to throw 3 interceptions, um, I think a lot of coaches would be like, "We're most likely going to win," because that never happens. Um, so
Exactly.
so I think that yeah, running back's good. I think Aaron Jones over Corey Linsley was a little interesting to me. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Obviously, love Aaron Jones. Happy he's back with the Packers. Losing Corey Linsley, I think, will be a little bit of a struggle, especially with Bakhtiari being hurt as well. So we're definitely going to have to address the offensive line. But Jake, what's the one thing that you think the Packers need to address heading into next season in this draft, in this 2021 NFL draft? What's the number one thing you think they need to address?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Anytime you lose the best center in the league, that's not the easiest to come back from. But, in defense of the Aaron Jones signing and letting Lindsley go, we were never going to be able to afford what Lindsley got. What Aaron Jones is making ultimately comes down to it's like a 2-year, $24 million deal or something like that with the guarantees. So Lindsley was way above that. As for what I think they need to adjust, you made a great point about Bakhtiari coming off that torn ACL.
Yeah.
No guarantee he's ready to start the season. Rick Wagner's gone. Corey Linsley's gone. So I would be looking to adjust the offensive line. I think we have some solid young guys, especially, we took 3 of them in the draft last year. And John Runyon Jr. seems to be the real deal. So, maybe get a little more depth than starting right tackle. Yeah, offensive line would be my go-to. Otherwise, defensive back as well.
So do you think with the addition of Kevin King that kind of puts the defensive back position kind of a little bit down the board at this point since they brought back King?
Well, King is still only on a 1-year deal. Adrian Amos, his contract is up at the end of next year. We just brought back Shannon Sullivan for a 1-year deal. I mean, we got a lot of guys who are on 1 year. So if we can get a talented rookie who, is in a rookie contract, I think that would be a good way to go as well.
Yeah, I agree. I really like a lot of the secondary players out there in the class. Trayvon Morning out of TCU, I like him. Greg Newsom, I like him. J.C. Horn, if he somehow falls to us, I would love for us to pick him. Asante Samuel Jr. obviously has been a noteworthy player linked to the Packers. And maybe Green Bay decides to trade up and try and land Farley or Surtain. I don't think that happens, but I think those two are really good players, and I think Green Bay, if they really want to say, we're here to compete, I could see them maybe trading up and going after somebody. But I think that definitely Green Bay's next season is going to be really interesting because there's a lot of things unknown. The offensive line is unknown with Bakhtiari. Is he going to be healthy? Is he not? How are you going to replace Corey Linsley? Is the Packers defense going to be good under the new defensive coordinator they brought in? Is it going to be better than Penton's? I don't know. The all questions going into next season, and I think we're obviously going to learn a lot about that from the draft. Obviously, I'm not going to say much about the offensive line. I'll leave that to at O-line coach Riley. He does a great job explaining offensive linemen. But I think that the Packers definitely, should look offensive linemen for sure in this class. But Jake, do you think that Green Bay has a good shot of making it back to where they were last year and possibly making the Super Bowl? Do you think that's a possibility, or do you think that losing Linsley, losing these guys, their championship window is kind of closed?
No, absolutely. I think that the Packers, when you're basically running it back with all 22 starters, I think we're returning at 20 of the 22 starters on offense and defense. In my opinion, we were the best team in the NFC last year. We're basically bringing the same team back. So I don't think we could be much worse than, second, third in the conference. So yeah, there's no reason they shouldn't be able to be be in the talks of being in the end.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I would be almost shocked if they're not one or two next season because you look at everyone in the NFC. Arizona, I think they're a little overrated. The Rams, not sure how Stafford's going to fit out there. Seattle, I mean, they're having their own problems with Russell Wilson. The 49ers, obviously, I don't even know what they're going to do. Trade up to the third overall pick if you guys didn't know. Um, it'll be really interesting. But I think Green Bay's got a great position to repeat and have a great season and make the NFC Championship game, and it'll probably be against Tom Brady again because all that dude does is freaking win, and you can't get rid of him. But it's unreal, and I think it's interesting too. You look at the top two teams in the NFC, Green Bay and Tampa, Jake. They both brought back a lot of their starters. That's something to look out for. They're pretty much bringing back the same team. How's that going to look going into next year?
What Tampa Bay you're saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no. In fact, I read they're bringing back all 22 of their starters, so they will have the exact same team. I think the only real big missing piece right now is Antonio Brown. Um, but he was only there half the year or something last year, anyways.
hmm
Whether it was injury or whatever. But yeah, they're obviously going to be, unless Tom Brady just hits this wall out of nowhere. I think that they'll be one of the teams there at the end as well. And you mentioned the Rams earlier. I do think Stafford is an upgrade over Jared Goff, but they lost their defensive coordinator and some assistants there, and there's no guarantee they're going to have that number one defense like they did last year either. So
yeah. I mean, I think that John Johnson too is a loss that not many people are talking about for the Rams. John Johnson, very talented player. I think he's a very underrated player. I think he's one of the best safeties in the league. If you had to ask me, I would say he's definitely up there. It'll definitely be interesting heading into next season. But Jake, I mean, there's a lot going on in the NFL too. With the NFL draft, a lot of movement at the top of the board. We've never really seen this early. You know what I mean? Usually
yeah,
you see a draft day trade. You know what I mean? But the movement this early, I think is really interesting. What are your thoughts on teams moving up to try and get players? Do you think San Fran moved up to take a QB? Do you think they'll take a QB, or you think they'll
yeah,
look for someone else on the board?
you have to be moving up to get a quarterback. And when you go to number 3, the only thing I could see is the Jets have number 2, correct? Can you
Yeah.
verify? Yeah.
Yep.
So my guess is they couldn't get to 1 or 2 because both those teams will be taking quarterbacks. So number 3, you have your choice, probably Trey Lance, um, or what's that kid from Ohio State?
Justin Fields.
That's it. Yeah. They'll have a chance. They'll have their choice of probably two or three guys that they like. So I definitely see them taking a quarterback there.
Yeah, Jake, I think without a doubt, if I were in the 49ers general manager's shoes, I would take Justin Fields from the Ohio State. I think, like, for me, it's going to be interesting because you're going to probably have four quarterbacks drafted in the top 10, and probably three of those guys will go 1, 2, and 3. It is going to be so interesting to see how this plays out because I think, Jake, you can agree with me on this. Trevor Lawrence is going to be the best. Like he's the best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck or John Elway, probably. Like he's just that good. And then you have these guys like Wilson Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones. These guys are really good players. It'll be interesting to see how it shapes out, and it'll be interesting to see Zach Wilson too. I know he had a really good pro day. That's
Yeah.
that's something that, like, you kind of forget about a little bit, like the pro days, like, and how players look. That's something that I forgot about, and then I started watching the pro days, and it was like it was like, wow, like you really see what kind of talent these players have, and it's great to see. I think it's great for the NFL. But Jake, also I want to get your thoughts on Shaka Smart headed to Marquette. I know that Wisconsin Heroics, you guys cover Marquette, correct?
Yes.
So what are your thoughts on that move? Or are you more of a Badgers guy?
Um, I tend to be more of a Badgers guy, but I mean, it's interesting. He's a Wisconsin guy, and he's a big name, so it'll be interesting. I think the recruiting could be much better with him. I think I saw somewhere on Twitter that he was actually being considered for the job when they hired Woj. Um, yeah, so I guess we'll see. A
Yeah.
lot of Marquette people that I know are pretty excited about it. So
I mean, why wouldn't you be? But our bracket challenge, the March Madness. March Madness has been great. Huge shout out to everyone that joined our bracket challenge. I think we had about 31 or 32 people join.
nice.
Jake is in this as well. He's currently sitting at 480 points. But he has a chance to gain some of the most points because he picked Gonzaga. Very common teams are Michigan, Gonzaga, Illinois is a very common team. One person picked Baylor. One person picked Wisconsin. A couple of people picked Michigan though. The guy sitting at top right now is picked Michigan. Then we have Gonzaga. We have I don't know who the number one guy is, but I'll put it up on the screen for you guys to see where you guys are sitting at. But Andrew Oaks is sitting in second place right now, 20 points behind the
Nice.
lead. So I would love to see him win because then he's going to give me so much crap that he knows so much about March Madness and basketball. But yeah, Jake, you're sitting at 17th right now. Not bad. No, Jake,
Middle of the pack. All right.
you did tell me that you're not huge into March Madness. Have you watched a lot any other tournament this year or not really?
Yeah, that's gonna be for me. I watched maybe 20 total minutes. It doesn't help that I work almost every Saturday. So like I just don't have a lot of time. So if it's not something I'm that passionate about, I'm not gonna make the time for it.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, we had a lot of great games yesterday, a lot of great games. Madness is something that I watch every year, Jake. And I always run a bracket league. And I'm really happy that we got 31 people in there. I think that's really cool. Like just to have some competitiveness to the March Madness. But Jake, greatly appreciate you for coming on the show, man. This is a little shorter episodes. We're trying to do shorter episodes for you guys. A lot of people have been telling me that they like the 20 to 30-minute episodes. So this will fit right in for you guys. So make sure you guys comment down below though what you guys want to see, who you guys want to see on the show, stuff like that. Huge shout out to Jake for coming by, talking some Packers, talking Wisconsin Heroes, talking March Madness, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys go follow Wisconsin Heroes. Check out G5 Shirts and Designs. Use code WISCO. But Jake, you have a great night, man. Stay by for a little bit after the show. Jake, just want to talk to you for a few minutes, if that's okay. But thank y'all for watching. We greatly appreciate it. And keep striving for greatness out there. Peace out.
Thanks a lot.